Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I finally found time to film my labor and delivery story, and today actually my parents are coming to visit us for a couple of months. So I'm so excited. I haven't seen my dad for 3 years and I haven't seen my mom for 2 years, and I know that I'm gonna be very busy doing stuff with them and just spending quality time with them, and I will not have time to film this video, but I wanted to do it as quickly as possible. So today is like my only opportunity. So my labor and delivery story: I gave birth when I was exactly 40 weeks pregnant, and it was on my due date, which happens very rare, but I was waiting for this baby since I was like 38 weeks, just because Christian was born 2 weeks early. And I know that every baby is different, but I was so ready for him to come out, and I couldn't wait. It was difficult for me towards the end of the pregnancy. I felt heavy, I felt tired and all that stuff. But he was right on time. He was born on his due date. And that happened like with second pregnancy. It was a little bit more complicated to coordinate the timing and everything, because you never know when you will go into labor, in the morning or in the evening. Christian with us, and it's not like we could leave him by himself at the house, so we had to coordinate the timing, and we actually asked the friends of ours to watch him. On Saturday, August 15th, I was like, hey, let's go, have dinner with friends, let's eat some spicy food. We went to our favorite Thai restaurant, and I ate spicy food. And then on Sunday I was like, hey, let's go to the mall. And couple of days before that, I had my, like on Wednesday or something, I had my OB appointment, and I was dilated 1 centimeter, or like I was dilated 1 finger, and it was like half centimeter probably. And I was effaced, 50% effaced. My cervix was 50% effaced, and I was in my station was -2. So on Saturday we ate spicy food, and on Sunday I was like, let's go to the mall, let's walk, blah blah blah. And usually every day I was trying to get some rest, because I thought that I could go into labor anytime, and I need my energy, I need my strength, because I was going nature. I was planning to go natural again, so I was racing every day. But on Sunday I was like, let's go to the mall. I was craving my favorite Korean dish, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it, but it takes like a lot of stuff, a lot of steps to make it. So on Sunday I was in the kitchen for like an hour or so making the dish, and I was standing on my feet, and my feet were hurting. And then we went to the mall. First we went to the grocery store in the morning, then I was cooking, then after the Christian's nap we went to the mall, and I didn't get my nap. I didn't have any sleep that day. And on Sunday morning we woke up like at 6:30 a.m. and so we were at the mall probably till like 6 p.m. 6:30 p.m. and then I had contractions that day, but they were not regular and they were not like so painful, and I thought, oh, maybe he's coming, but maybe not today, because they were not regular. I was hoping that I would go into labor that day, but I was like, I'm not so sure. But by the end of that day, by the end of Sunday, my contractions were like more often, and they were still not regular, but they were like more often and more painful. And so around probably like 6:30 p.m. I texted my friend, and the timing was wrong, because she had problem with her wisdom teeth, and they were like hurting a lot, and I understand that pain with wisdom teeth. So I was like, hey, are you sure that you can watch Christian? Like, and she's like, no, bring him. I will be fine, my husband will help. And she also has a toddler they go to daycare together with Christian. And so I was like, okay. And we went there around 7:30, 8 p.m. and we wanted to put, our plan was to put Christian to bed, and then if I go into labor at night, then it will work out good. And but we didn't want to wait till night, because at night we didn't want to wake Christian up and drive him all the way there and wake them up. So decided to put him to bed there, and then in the morning they will take both kids to daycare, and then we'll see if I go into labor now. So we just decided to do that, and I was hoping that I will go into labor that night, because I didn't want to do it twice, and I was sad about leaving Christian somewhere, because I've never done that. I was kind of worried for him. I didn't know how he would handle, like, I don't know, it was very hard, because it was first time for us. So but we put him to bed there, and then we went home, and by that time I was exhausted. I wanted to go to bed, but I was also hungry, and I made this dish that I was craving, and I haven't even tried it. I haven't even eaten it that day, and I was like, should I go to bed and get some rest? It was like 10 p.m. or should I eat? And then I was like, okay, I will eat and then I'll go to bed. So I ate, and then I went to bed around 10:30 p.m. but my contractions were started to get more regular and more painful, so I couldn't fall asleep because I had so many thoughts in my head about labor. I'm a little nervous about everything, and my contractions, I started to time my contractions. They were 5 minutes apart, about 40 seconds long, something like that, and so I couldn't fall asleep. And at 12 a.m. I went to the bedroom, and I was going to the bedroom with this whole time, like very often. And then about 12 a.m. I went to the bedroom again, and it was dark. I didn't want to, turn the light on because I wanted my husband to get some rest as well, because I knew that he would be up during my labor with me. So I was like, at least someone, should get some rest. And then I went to the bedroom, and I smelled a little blood. I turned the light on in the bedroom, and I saw a little blood came out, and I was like, it's probably like mucus plug, and we need to go to the hospital. Plus my contractions were starting to get really painful, and more often, like maybe 3 minutes apart. And I woke my husband up, and I said, hey, we need to go to the hospital. So we loaded our bags and we went to the hospital. We were at the hospital about 12:30, 12:40 a.m. and we were at triage room. I have a video, my labor and delivery video. It's clean, it's like nothing. I didn't go like I didn't video the whole thing. I just videoed the earliest stages of labor. So if you guys want to check it out, you can. I'll put the link here somewhere, and I'll put the link in the info box. And so we were at triage room, and they were checking my dilation, and I was 4 centimeters dilated. And they were thinking about whether they should accept me or no, because sometimes they said sometimes 4 centimeters can be, it's like a half point where it can progress very quickly, or it can be hours till the progression will happen. So they called my doctor, and she decided to accept, and nurse also told me that sometimes they will accept to the hospital, and if in couple of hours there is no progression, then doctor will want to hurry up and give a Pitocin or something like this, which we didn't want. So they said it's up to you, but of course we could refuse any medicine if we wanted. So that wasn't a problem, but we decided to stay, and my water didn't break just yet. So also I was group B positive, and they gave me some antibiotics like penicillin or something, IV fluid, to protect baby. So I was half hour on that IV, and then an hour on that IV, and then they told me if my water doesn't break until like 6 a.m. or something, or 5:30, they would break it. And so I was, when they took the IV out, I went to the bathtub. I was laying there. It really helped me. Then I took a shower. Like, water seemed to help me a lot. And I tell you this labor and delivery was faster and it was easier. My contraction, I handled my contractions better than with my first one, because I think I already knew what it felt like, and I kind of knew how to, you know, cooperate. And it was easier. Like with my first one, I would not be able, I couldn't talk much. I was just like in my zone, and I was like trying to rest, and it was just a little different. With this one, you know, I was talking, I was texting my girlfriends, my mom. So yeah, we watched Friends. That helped me. And then they told me like that usually you progress by 1 centimeter like every hour. So you open 1 centimeter like every hour usually. Like sometimes it goes really fast for some people, and sometimes it gets really slow. So by my calculations, I thought, okay, every hour I will be 1 centimeter dilated. So I was 4 centimeters dilated at 1 a.m., right? So at about 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. they checked me again, and I thought I would be like about 8 centimeters dilated, right? Like if 4 hours, like 4 centimeters dilated. But they told me that I was only 6 centimeters dilated, and I was like so disappointed. I was like, what's going on? It was like 4 hours already, and I only progressed 2 centimeters. So that didn't sound good at all, and I was kind of disappointed. And I was like, hey, I thought to myself, I need to get up, I need to walk to make it faster and to make my water, they also said that when water breaks, it goes really fast. And so I was like, my water needs to break like now. I need to walk, you know, it was already painful. So I got out of the bed and I walked around, and I was standing and walked again, and until I couldn't walk anymore, because it was like, it hurt so bad. And then I laid in my bed again, and around 5:30 a.m. my water broke, and 10 minutes later doctor came to check on me and to break my water if it didn't, but it did on its own. So, and then after this I was 6 centimeters, right? And in an hour or so I was like 10 centimeters and ready to go. I was like, it was so painful. It was really painful. And I thought to myself, with my first pregnancy, I was in active labor when it was really painful. I was like for 12 hours. And with this one, I was only like, I don't know, 5-6 hours, something like this. And I was thinking to myself, gosh, it's so painful. How could I handle that for 12 hours with my first one when I'm ready to give up now? Like it was so painful. I was at the point when I couldn't handle it anymore, and I don't know, I was just thinking to myself, like, how did I do it like first time? I couldn't imagine. And nurses were good. They, like, no one asked me about epidural. I had a birth plan with me, as with my first pregnancy. So and then I had this urge to push, and they told me, when you have the urge to push in the middle of between the contractions, then you're probably 10 centimeters dilated and you're ready to go. But for me, I had an urge to push during my contractions, but in between my contractions I didn't feel this urge to push. So I didn't ask them to check how much I am dilated, because I thought that I don't have this urge, so I'm probably not 10 centimeters just yet. And I didn't want them to check me because it's so crazy painful. And I also, in my birth plan, I asked specifically, don't check me that often. I will tell you when I want to be checked. And so and then I was like, hey, but I want to know like what my progression is. So I was like, to heck with that, let them check me, and I will see how many centimeters, 8, 9 centimeters, I want to know. So she checked me, nurse checked me, and she was like, hey, you 10 centimeters dilated, let's call a doctor. And I was like, hey, are you sure? Because I didn't want to push when I'm not 10 centimeters, because it could be painful and it could take a long time to push. And I was like, hey, are you sure? She's like, yes, I'm sure, you're 10 centimeters dilated, let me call the doctor. So the doctor came in, and it was different doctor than it was last time. It was different doctor on call, and she was a little bit too rough, it seemed like. She did a great job because I didn't have any tears, I didn't have everything was like great. The outcome was great, but she was a little bit rough because I remember with Christian, when I was pushing, it was easy. It was easier than labor. It wasn't painful at all. And with this one, it was kind of painful. And even my husband, he was watching, and he was like, yeah, she seemed a little too rough, like, doing stuff. So, but she is this kind of personality, this kind of people who they very loud, and they very they open the doors like this, they close the doors. So this kind of people, they're not quiet, they're not gentle. So she was kind of like that. So all her moves and all this were very like rough kind of. So anyways, then I pushed for maybe 15 minutes, because I started to push when it was 7:10 a.m. and I gave birth 7:24 a.m. So I pushed the same time with Christian as with Christian. So baby David came out. He was I forgot, he was 7-11 ounces, and he was 21 inches, no, he was 20.5 inches long. So with Christian, with labor, everything worked out great, like the way we planned. And I wanted a morning baby, and he was born in the morning. And so yeah, everything went according to the plan, everything went great. And this is my labor and delivery story. I hope I didn't forget anything, but if I did, you can ask me any questions and I will answer them. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my family vlogs videos. Bye! Furniture Mart for the first time here, and it's pretty huge.